Now to the news in details. Akufo-Addo to host Black Starlets at Jubilee House. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has congratulated the national U20 men's soccer team for their title-winning performance at the just-ended U20 Ghana was marking its 64th independence anniversary, beat Uganda 2-0 to win the 16th edition of the tournament held in Mauritania. A brace by Captain Daniel Efriye-Benier sealed a fourth continental title for Ghana. President Akufo-Addo admitted that the team has made Ghana proud. He tweeted on Sunday. Goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim, who won the Best Goalkeeper award, and Abdul Isahaku Fatahu, who was named Player of the Tournament, made it to the tournament 11. Nabdab Nabo Deputy Director Dominic Kugon killed by armed men at Pelungu Market. The Deputy Director for the National Disaster Management Organization (NADMO) in the Nabdan district has been murdered by three unidentified armed men in the Upper East region. The gruesome incident is said to have occurred at the Pelungu Market on Saturday, 7th February. Mr. Dominic Kogong, 31, was shot during a transaction at a mobile money outlet in the area. The public affairs officer of the Regional Police Command, Assistant Superintendent David Fiako Ochre, who gave a confirmation on the murder, said the police received a call reporting a robbery incident at about 7 p.m. on Saturday. Upon arrival, he indicated that the robbers had escaped and made away with some 10 mobile devices, an amount of 750 Ghana cedis, after raiding two shops at the Pulungu market. According to him, from the accounts of witnesses, the NADMO director was shot while attempting to flee from being told to get down from a motorbike and lie on the ground. Assistant Superintendent David Fianco Ochre disclosed that the armed gang, after shooting Mr. Congo, left the scene in an unregistered Apsonic motorbike. According to him, the three unidentified men who were engaged in a mobile money transaction were left unattended by the agents after sensing danger. Several hours later, Mr. Kugog, who arrived engaged in the transaction, met his untimely death. Meanwhile, the remains of Dominic Kugog has been released to the family for burial. In other stories, pure water bag to be sold for 2 cedis 50 pesos effective on March 8th. The National Association of Sachets and Bottled Water Producers has announced an increment in the price of a bag of sachet water, which will be effective today, Monday, 8th, 2021. A bag of sachet water will be sold at 2 cedis 50 pesos. Here lies the end of the local stories for today. Moving on to the foreign news in other countries. In Guinea, huge explosions rock Equatorial Guinea's main city. State television showed widespread destruction following the blast at least 15 people have died and hundreds more have been injured in a series of explosions in Equatorial Guinea, the health ministry says. Some 500 people were injured following the blast, which happened near a military barracks in the main city of Bata on Sunday. The blasts were caused by negligence relating to the storage of dynamite at the barracks, the president said. President Theodora Bobiang Nguema said in a statement that the impact of the explosion caused damage in almost all the houses and buildings in Bata and called for international help with aid. He added that the incident may have occurred following the burning of fields surrounding the barracks of farmers. In a series of tweets, the health ministry asked for volunteer health workers to go to Bata Regional Hospital. It has also asked for blood donations due to the high number of casualties. In other stories, police confirm last sighting of missing woman. Sarah Everett, 33, was last spotted on CCTV walking alone on the A205 Finder Road from the junction with Cavendish Road in the direction of Tulse Hill. The time was about 21:30 GMT, 30 minutes after she had left her friend's home in Lathering Road, Clapham. Her walk home to Brixton was expected to have taken her 15 minutes. Detectives said it was unclear whether she returned to her home address, but think she may have walked across Clapham Common. An extensive investigation is underway, including searches and house-to-house enquiries to establish whether there were any further sightings of Miss Everard beyond that which was captured on CCTV. The investigation continues to be treated as a missing persons inquiry, but due to its complex nature and concerns for welfare, the Met Specialist Crime Command is now leading the case. Her family said it was total out of character for her to not to be in contact with them. Police officer in a RIB search Eagle Pond on Claremont Compound. Volunteers from London Search and Rescue Help search Clapham Common. The focus remains on returning her home to her family safe, and well, that is our number one priority. I would like to thank Sarah's family and friends, the local community, and members of the public for their help to raise awareness and this appeal for her upcoming forthwith information. I would urge everybody who has information or notice any suspicious activity in the area to contact us if she haven't already. She was last seen wearing a green rain jacket and navy blue trousers with a white diamond pattern and turquoise and orange trainees. She was also thought to have been wearing green earphones and a white bunny hat. Detectives have urged people to check any dashcam or doorbell cameras for sightings of her, particularly along these areas. Moving on to USA. There is war in Afghanistan 2001 to present. Afghan security forces attend a ceremony to show the release to civilians after an operation at Taliban private prison of Gozara, district of Herat, Afghanistan. The Taliban could make rapid military against across Afghanistan when American and NATO troops pull out. US Security and State Attorney Blinken has warned. Under a deal between the Taliban and the previous Trump administration, all remaining US forces are due to leave the country by the end of the month. But in a letter to Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, Mr. Blinken has warned a possible news offspring. US soldiers invaded Afghanistan in 2001 to remove Taliban from power. The American military operation was in response to the 9/11 terrorist attack. In January, the Biden administration said it would review the peace agreement made within the Taliban during Donald Trump's presidency. Under the deal, the remaining 10,000 US LED NATO forces in the country are due to pull out by May 1 in exchange for Taliban security guarantees. The White House has now said that it wants to make sure the Afghan militant group is living up to its commitments, including reducing violence and cutting ties with terrorists before withdrawing. Levels of violence in the country remain high, with journalists, activists, politicians, and women judges among those killed in targeted assassinations, the Afghan war explained. In Mr. Blinken's letter, obtained by the BBC on Sunday, the US Secretary for State calls for a 90-day reduction in violence in Afghanistan and a new international peace effort overseen by the UN to help reach a permanent and comprehensive ceasefire. This, he warns, is urgently needed to prevent the security situation from deteriorating further. The UN will be asked to convene a meeting of foreign ministers to envoys of regional powers, the letter says, adding that Turkey would be the venue for a high-level meeting between the Taliban and the Afghan government. The BBC's chief international correspondent, Les Doucet, said the letter underscores Washington's effort to find a peaceful resolution to America's longest war. Mr. Blinken is stepping up pressure on President Ghani and the Taliban as the US looks to avoid the specter of a chaotic civil war, even the collapse of the Afghan capital, Kabul, in the wake of its pullout, our correspondent adds. The BBC is not responsible for the content of external sites. View original tweets on Twitter, shots presenting national, transparent lies as peace talks between. In other country, Switzerland referendum. Switzerland had narrowly voted in favor of banning faces coverings in public, including the burqa and niqab worn of Muslim women. Official results showed why the measure had passed by the 51.2% to 48.8% in Sunday's referendum. The proposal was put forward by the right-wing Swiss People Party, the SVP, which campaigned with slogans such as "Stop Extremism." A leading Swiss Islamic group said it was a dark day for Muslims. Today's decision opens old wounds, further expands the principle of legal equality, and sends a clear signal of exclusion to the Muslim minority. The Central Council of Muslims said in a statement, adding that it will challenge the decision in court. The Swiss government had argued against the ban, saying it was not up to the state to dictate what women wear. According to research by the University of Lausanne in Germany, almost no one in Switzerland wears a burqa and only around 30 women wear the niqab. About 5% of Switzerland's population of 8.6 million people are Muslims, most originate from Turkey, Bosnia, and Kosovo. Muslim face coverings, explains Spacer. Swiss people are given a direct say in their own affairs under the country's system of directive democracy. They are regularly invited to vote on various issues in national or regional referendums. It is not the first time Islam has figured in a Swiss referendum. In 2009, citizens went against government advice and voted to ban the rebuilding of minarets, a proposal also put forward by the SVP, which said minarets were a sign of Islamization. The Islamic veil across Europe, Denmark women fined for wearing veil. The proposed in Sunday's referendum did not mention Islam directly and was also aimed at stopping violent street protesters from wearing masks. However, the vote was widely referred to as the burqa ban. The latest proposal debated the coronavirus pandemic, which has meant all Swiss adults having their masks in many settings. Stay tuned as I bring you the news for the entertainment side of today's news. Stay tuned. Moving on to the entertainment news for today. Giovanni goes hard on lady who claims he makes dates rush boring. The award-winning radio or TV personality Giovanni Caleb has landed a heavy blow on the face of a lady on Twitter who claimed that he makes the Date Rush show very boring. After season 4 of Date Rush was premiered some weeks ago, and it emerged that Neil Patrick Thompson was no longer going to be the host, a lot of social media users and lovers of the show were up in arms. Many of these folks expressed their displeasure in the decision of Media General to drop Neil Patrick after he has become the one man who made the show that what it is and introduced Giovanni. Well, a few weeks to the show, this narrative changed as many people began to enjoy the 3FM director show host in this style too. But after tonight's show, it appears there are some lovers of the show who still have their concerns about Giovanni as host. One lady identified as at Nana Ikuya P18 on Twitter in reaction to a tweet from TV3 about Giovanni as host of Date Rush said He's making the show boring. He talks too much. He gives too much attention to the girls to talk too much. In a quick reason to this, Giovanni quickly came to tell the lady that this is sense that she should not have, and added that he is not the one to be blamed for the lady's inability to get his role as host. In other stories, veteran actress reveals why Rollins ended Osofo Daisy's TV show. Speaking on Oman channel on YouTube channel monitored by Ghana Web, Mami Jane disclosed that the then military leader stopped the show from being aired on the state-owned GBC, which was the only TV station at that time, when it emerged that the group was being used for visa rexing and besides, there was infighting among the members. She explained that the group at the point had to travel for a tour overseas, but herself and other leading members were sidelined in the 11th hour. She, however, averred that due to her absence and that of other leading members from the trip to tour floor, the first show was heavily attended, by the next day was different. People started asking about us, news of our absence traveled far. So, when they staged their third show, only 5 people attended. She said the promoter, upon realizing the tour had flopped, abandoned the group and the members had to resort to begging from some Ghanaians to the diaspora before they could return home. According to Mami Jane, the late President Rawlings, who had been informed of the incident, summoned the group and sought to find out what had transpired. She said, when asked, all the members decided to stay quiet, but she rose to give details of the happenings, including her now visa and that of others were handed over to other people for her travel. We were asked why our names were approved for visas and we didn't make the trip. Osofo Daisy and B. Kisi were all afraid of telling the truth. I got up and told everything, and it was there and then Rollins declared that Osofo Daisy would not be aired on TV again. So that is how Osofo Daisy ended. Thank you so much for your attention this morning. Here lies the end of today's news. Once again, and the headlines were Akufo-Addo to hold Black Starlet at Jubilee House. Pure water bag to be sold at 2 cities 50 pesos effective today. Huge explosions rock Equatorial Guinea's main city. Please confirm last sightings of missing women. These and many other stories report your way this morning. The name Abdullah Ahini. Stay tuned for more entertainment and music. Have a blessed day and a good morning.